thing that we are going to talk about is packaging and distribution. Okay, what is packaging and distribution? Packaging and distribution is the concept of moving components. We have seen sandboxes, right? In sandbox, you can move component from sandbox to production, right? But what if you want to move components from one Salesforce org to other Salesforce org? You have developed an application and you want to move it to some other org. Okay, so it's not just about moving it from sandbox to production. If you have developed something and you want to move it to someone else's org, okay, so let's say you designed an application and I ask you to give me the entire application. How are you going to do that? That's basically the concept of packaging and distribution. Okay, so it's very similar to the sandbox concept, not much of a difference. Let me log in into Salesforce and show it to you. Okay, so first thing that you have to do is you just have to go to setup, develop, go to setup, create. Yeah, go to setup, create packages. Okay, create a new package. Now put the components that you want to add into this package. You can name it whatever you want. Save the package. Now the components that you want to move from your org to the other org need to be added into this package. Okay. Let's say you want to move some visual force page or whatever, whatever you have created in Salesforce. Everything is available here. The reports, visual force pages, tabs, objects, fields, all the things are available. All custom things, no standard thing. Because standard thing anyhow the other organization will also have. Right? So let's see if we have something. We'll add this trigger to the package. The same way you can add more components to the package. You can keep on adding the components. Whatever components you feel like adding. Okay. You need a visual force page. Let's move this. So add the components to the package. Once you are done with adding all the components to the package, all that you have to do is you just have to upload the package. You have to upload the package and you'll have to give it a version name. Let's call it December 2015. Upload it. This package gets uploaded and you will get an installation URL. Okay, your upload completes, and the moment you are done with uploading it, you will receive an installation URL. Now this installation URL you will have to share with the other person who needs this package, right? So you add the components into package, upload the package, take the installation URL, give it to the other person who wants to install this package. Now the person who uses this will be able to install all the components of this package into his Salesforce org. Okay. So when someone clicks on this link, they will be asked to log in into their Salesforce account, right? And the moment they log in, I'm logging into a different account now. The moment they log in, they will be asked to install the package, and they can install the package. So installing package is basically downloading all those components. Correct? As simple as this. Install P1. Install for admins only, install for all users, install for specific users. Got it? So installing a package basically means downloading all the components of the package. Got it? So whenever you have the requirement of transferring some component from one Salesforce org to other org, you will use packaging and distribution. Right? So this can help you build some application, or some uh, basic kind of a structure on your developer org. Sometimes it will happen with you. For example, you just have to show a demonstration to the client. So for that client demonstration, what exactly you are going to do? You will create a small app, right? And because you are just doing a demo for the client, you might not have the actual app available. I mean, you might not have the actual login ID password. So you will try to create the demo in the developer org, show it to the client. Now client likes that demonstration. He purchases the license of Salesforce.com. Now you don't have to create everything from the scratch. All that you have to do is you just have to do packaging, and you just have to move that. That's it. Got it? Okay. The next concept that we are going to talk is Force.com sites. Did I talk about Force.com site earlier? Last week, did I talk about Force.com site? No, right? No. Fine. So Force.com site is basically the concept of making public sites using Force.com. Public site means you can build a site which can be accessed publicly. Now your Salesforce data is being accessed by people who have login ID password, correct? But what if you want to make some part of your data public so that anyone can see them? Now you will ask, why would I do that? Let's say you have a product object where all your products are listed. You might want to make that list of products as public so that others can look into that and they can understand your range of products. Similarly, let's say there is a job recruiting company. Now, this recruiting company might have an object where they have listed all the job openings. They might want to make that particular uh, object list of that object records as public so that everyone can see them, right? With the current login concept, only people who have the login ID password for Salesforce, they can see it, right? They can see the data. But sometimes some part of your data you might want to make that public. There you need Force.com site. Okay. So for making a public site, you need two things. It's more like a website, small website. So for making a public site, what do we need? We need two things. One, we need the page, okay, the page designed, and we need the hosting, okay, the address where the site is going to be hosted. Correct? Page design you will do using Visualforce. You'll have to design the page using Visualforce, and hosting needs to be done using Force.com. Got it? So you need to design a page and you'll have to host it. So for hosting you will use Force.com, and page design will be done using Visualforce. Okay. Uh, so what is going to be the address for your site? You'll have to register a subdomain on force.com. Okay. You know what's a subdomain? Subdomain is abc.force.com. So this force.com is the main domain. ABC is the subdomain. So you have to register a subdomain here. Got it? So all that you have to do is you just have to register a subdomain on force.com, and you can make your site public, because when I'm talking about making site public, I have to give a web address also, right? Where will people come and see my site? So Salesforce allows you to register a subdomain. You can register the subdomain on the force.com domain, and that can become your address. So we'll take a Visual Force page that we have already created. We'll take one of the Visual Force pages and we will use that. So let's use any of the Visual Force page for site. So first thing that you have to do, Visual Force page is ready. We ideally should create our Visual Force page first, but we have a lot of Visual Force pages. We'll pick any one of those. Now the second is register the subdomain. Where do you register subdomain? Go to develop sites, setup, develop sites. On the site you have to register your subdomain. See mycompany.force.com. So you can put whatever name you want. Let's say Shubham Gupta. Check availability. Okay, this is not available. Check some other name. Okay, this is available. See, by usually it's gonna be your whatever your company name .force.com. Here it's developer edition .ap2.force.com because it's a developer edition. So they are not giving you direct subdomain on force.com. But in a paid edition, you will get the direct subdomain of force.com. Availability checked. Agree to terms and condition and register your subdomain. Done. Okay. Now the next thing that we have to do is we just have to click on new and create the site. So register domain is registered. Now just go ahead and create the site. Give it any name, site one. Okay. This is your domain, and after this your site address should come site one. So this will become complete address for the page, for the web page. Okay. This entire name slash site. Make it active. Till the time you don't activate it, it's not gonna work. Then select active site homepage. Active site homepage is going to be your Visual Force page which you want to use here. Let's pick any of the Visual Force pages. Is there any V12? Let's see. List of accounts. It's fine. Save it. Done. So all that you have to do is you just have to whatever you want to display on the page that you should design in Visual Force. Let's say this is what I want to display. I want to make this thing public. Now, after designing the page, what you have to do, you have to get the web address by registering your domain that you did register for the subdomain. After that, create a site where active site homepage should be this Visual Force page, right? Now, this is the complete address for your site. This entire thing is the complete address for your site. Now, whoever has this link will be able to see the data on this. Okay. Click on preview as admin. See, this is the link. Okay. I'll copy this, give it to you. Now, just put it on your chat, put it in your browser and see if you are able to see data. Put it in the browser and see. Do you see any data?
No, Jeet, no data visible.
Data is not visible. But you can see the page, right? So we have made the page public. Data is still not visible. The reason is why you don't see data because I have still not given public access on the data. Okay, your page has become public, but you also have to control the public access for that page. What data is being displayed on this? It's accounts. So what you have to do, you have to go to the site. This is one thing that you have to do. Whichever object data you want to display on that page, you have to go and check the public access setting for that particular object. In this case, it's account. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to give a read access on account so that you can see the data. So go to public access setting. Whereas by default, no data access is given on the site. You have to, the administrator has to go and give the access of the data. Site is only creating the page, it's not giving the data access. See, for no object, no access is there. Only ideas, object access, read access is there. We can put, we want to display accounts. So I'll have to put a read access for accounts also. Okay, save it. The same way you don't see the tabs there. Why do you don't see the tabs? Because all the tabs are hidden. Okay, save it. Okay, now just go ahead and refresh the page. Just go to the same link, refresh it. Do you see data now?
Yeah.
Got it? So by default, when a site is created, only the Visual Force page actually becomes visible on the site. Data access you still have to go and give. You know, just to make sure, Salesforce from Salesforce.com, they just want to ensure that you are giving access to the right data. So there's a double security process here. Visual Force page activated, but data is still not visible till the time you don't give public access on that particular object. Right. So that's it. Now this is a public page. This is a public site. So anyone can actually come here and they can see. So this can be a list of products. This can be a list of services that you do. This can be a list of yeah, achievements or whatever whatever data you are saving in whichever object. Right. So this can help you actually manage things very nicely. Correct. And not just view, people can actually use the site to enter data into Salesforce also. I mean, if you have designed a Visual Force page which can actually take the input data, That can also be done, but in that case, you should give a create access as well. Let's say if you want people to be able to create records in a certain object, you should give a create access for that object as well. Currently, I just gave a read access. If you want people to create records, you should give a create access also. Edit and delete access are not available on the sites for standard objects. Either people can see the data or they can create records. They will not have the option of editing or deleting the records on the public site. Correct. Clear? Let me know if anyone has a question here. Any doubt?
Um, Jeet, if we have made an Apex Visual Force page likewise that it is already having editable access, we create a Apex code na, for forums and these things for input fields and all. So
Hmm.
if we are making them means making that page as a public site, then all these access is overrated by these settings. Means if the page is editable in Apex code and we are hosting it as a public, so it will be in by default it will be in
Read only mode.
read only mode.
Yes. That's what we saw right now, right? You made data visible on a Visual Force page. The moment it went to site, the site settings actually override your Visual Force page or whatever you are doing. Right? So what people will be able to do on the site completely depends on your settings, the public access setting that you are defining. Correct?
Okay. And one more thing in packaging and distribution, you added a class and it was not uploaded. And there was a
Because
error message that is test method is not there.
yes, because whenever like the same concept for Apex and Visual Force is there, that you have to test the code and then only you can move it. Either you're moving it from sandbox to production or you're moving it from one org to the other org. You'll have to write the code, and as I told you yesterday, you have to have 75% code coverage for any Apex code which is being moved.
Okay. So you mean to say at least a single test method should be there which is calling any
No,
Apex class and after that they are all interlinked like
no,
means
no, not a single test method. You have a single or two test method does not make a difference. But the Apex code which is being uploaded either from sandbox to production or through package needs to have 75% code coverage. 75% code coverage means if your class that you are trying to move, it has 100 lines of code. 75 lines of code should be covered. Covered means you should have written test method for that and you should have executed the test method and it should have passed it.
okay.
Get it? So even if you are not able to reach 100%, but at least 75% of code coverage is required before you can move the Apex code from sandbox to production or from one org to other org.
Okay. It means that the code which we have written yesterday, it
Yes.
was fully tested and with the test method we will be able to upload that, right? Without
Yeah.
any error.
Yes.
Okay.
So whatever is tested, that can be uploaded.
Uploaded. Okay.
Or the same concept is from sandbox to production also. Only once you have tested, so that's what we were talking about, that Salesforce wants to ensure that the code that you're writing or the things that you're developing, till the time you are on a developer or on a sandbox, it's fine. But the moment you are trying to package it and give it to someone else, this will be primarily when you are giving it to your client, or you are kind of moving it to the production where you are sending it to your end users. They want to make sure that you have tested it properly with those bulk records and all that stuff. Okay.
Got it.
If this is not required thing, they don't make the 75% logic mandatory. No one is actually going to test the code. So that is it. How lazy we are. So that's the reason why they have made it mandatory, so that people, till the time you don't test it, you are not gonna deploy. You'll have to test it. Got it? Okay. Now the next concept that we are gonna talk is static resources. What is a static resource? Static resource is a very simple thing. Uh, the name is confusing, but the concept is pretty simple. Whenever you are using a visual force page, whenever you create a visual force page, sometimes your visual force page needs certain reference files. Okay, it needs to refer to some file like an image, a JavaScript file, CSS style sheet, things like this. Hmm. So your visual force page might need to refer to these files. Let's say you're trying to display an image. You'll have to upload that image somewhere, right? That image should be available somewhere. You cannot have, you cannot link your visual force page with an image which is on your computer, right? If there is a company's logo which has to appear on your visual force page, that company logo has to be uploaded somewhere in Salesforce, right? So static resources is the place where you attach these files which need to be referenced in your visual force page. Got it? A zip folder, image, CSS, JavaScript, these kind of things. Okay, where is static resource? You just need to go to setup, develop, static resources. Okay, click on new, and you should be able to browse and upload the static resource. So it's just a matter of uploading the thing. Use static resources to upload content that you want to reference in a visual page. So any content which is a file, which is a separate file, and that needs to be referenced in a visual force page. It can be an image, it can be .zip, .jar, image, style sheet, JavaScript, anything. Got it? Now, in case you have uploaded a static resource, let's say you uploaded an image here, and you want to reference that to that image in visual force page, how will you do that? Give me one quick second. I'll give you the link. Okay. So usually you will find it in the Visual Force Developers Guide also, but there is a link which I'm not able to find out. Okay. See, they have changed it from this. Okay. Have a look at this. So to access it, I will send you a better link. I mean, there is one more link. I'm not able to, locate it. I do not know if these guys have moved it or something. From Salesforce.com only, there is a better link where all these things are listed. I am gonna forward it that link to you. I'm not able to figure it out. But this is how you can actually then locate the static resource. So anything which is uploaded on the static resource, you will access it through this. Like it's an image, you should say source equals to this dot name of the image. Okay. If it is inside a certain folder in the static resource, then you should give the location for that. Correct. Same way, if it is a style sheet that you are referring to, then you should use Apex style sheet component. Okay. Then you should use this not style sheet name. Correct. So this is basically the key. This is the location of the static resource folder. So you have to use this, and then you can basically use the name of your resource. This has to be within curly brackets. Okay. I'm going to send you a better link for this, for referencing to the static resources. I don't know if these guys have moved it or something. Not able to figure it out. I'm not able to find it. But I should be having the link. Okay. It's there in the PDF also, but usually PDF is more confusing. That link is better. Right. So this is how your static resource basically works. Got it? So you can upload all the reference documents, files, which can be like images, JavaScript, CSS, and then you can reference to that using this static resource. Clear? Let me know if there's a doubt or question on the static resource. Any questions? No? They're fine? Right. Okay. So that is it, that we had to discuss for today.